Welcome everyone, this is Jamesrise gonna bring you, special ladies and gentlemen, a new video today. And today we are going to talk about the reasons why I decided to go vegan. I get this question asked a lot, whether it's YouTube comments, whether it's on Facebook, whether it's people I know, whether it's on Instagram comments. A lot of people want to know why I decided to make that change in my life. Because for a lot of years, about 23 years I want to say, 24 years I was a meat eater, carnivore, ate meat. Yes, I did. But then I decided to make that change. For 3 years I've been vegan. And the reasons why I went vegan is it went in levels. It was a domino effect that led me up to the change to become vegan, to adopt this vegan lifestyle, to make a great change for myself. So let's start with the first turning point. Well, I guess there's multiple. Let's go way back. Way back when I was about 20. 20, 22, 21, somewhere in that area. I'm currently 28 now. I was a huge runner back in the day. Loved to run. Ran for miles and miles. Ran competitively in high school. Ran races after high school. Ran 5Ks. Ran long miles, 20Ks, things like that. And I ran a lot on my own, a lot of miles, 12-mile runs, 5-mile runs, stuff like that. Eventually, that's going to take a beating on your knees. So, at that time, I was a mechanic. As a mechanic, you often stand a lot, working on cars, working underneath cars, etc., etc. My knees started to hurt, started to swell, started to aggravate my day-to-day lifestyle. It was a burden on me. It did not feel good to stand up all for those long hours, and I was in pain. So I didn't take any medicine, no painkillers and stuff like that. I just wondered why, and I just thought, that running, it's supposed to be like that. Well, it's not always supposed to be like that. Your knees and joints do take a banging, but to cause inflammation around the knees, it's not really common. So one of my friends, as you guys know, my partner on here, Colin Chi, he suggested that, dairy causes inflammation in the diet and in your body. It causes inflammation in the joints especially. So at that moment, I'm like, all right, I'm going to make this decision. For me, if I make a decision or whatever I plan to do, I'm going to stick to it. So at that point on, I'm like, I'm going to drop dairy, drop milk from my regular day diet. I'm going to drop it all. So in about 2 weeks, my inflammation in my knees dissipated. And my knees didn't bother me anymore. I was able to walk around, run, and feel great without being held down by the pain of inflammation around my joints. So that was number one. So that was the beginning to see that what I put in my body affects me in a negative way, whether it be bad foods. It could be a negative or a positive. So that was me opening the door to new possibilities on seeing what I put in my body and how it affects me. The second one was a few years after that, I started getting this like rosacea type of dry patches underneath my skin. I got dry scalp as well, and I wondered why. And at that time in my life, I ate a lot of nut butters, a lot of nut milks as well. Consuming a lot of it. I was into the gym. I was I want to get some mass, so I get these calories in, and those nut butters have a lot of calories. So I was eating it at a great consumption, a lot of it. So then I'm like, man, why am I getting this? And I tried some skincare products. I tried some omega-3s and whatnot, just to try to get my skin back to normal. And then I'm like, all right, I have to make a change in my diet. I have to start cutting things out of my diet to see what's really causing this. Because when my buddy at the time, Colin Chi, said maybe you should cut some things out of your diet, and then I did. So I started cutting things out of my diet. First things I cut out of my diet was peanut butter. So I cut peanut butter off, and it started to dissipate. And then I cut out almond butter, and I cut out almond milk. A few weeks later, about 1-2 weeks later, my skin was cleared up. I used to use this facial cream that would clear it up for a few days, and it'll come back. But once I dropped all the nut butters, the nut milks, it cleared up. It cleared up. And then I realized that a few years later, down the road, that canola oil does that to my skin as well. So I avoid nut butters and canola oils. I'm a big chip fiend, as some of you guys may know, and canola oil is in a lot of chip products and a lot of other products as well that aren't like whole food based, that are, you know, processed foods. So that was my second step. And after that, you know, I was still eating meat, eating chicken on the regular, avoiding red meats because they said red meat's bad, as it is. But then I watched this documentary. I was into a lot of documentaries and finding out more about the world and seeing what's really happening around us instead of being so shielded by what the media wants us to watch and what they want us to see and hear. I decided to break out and watch some documentaries that were controversial, and I ran across this documentary that was, you know, big in the day. It was a few years ago, Forks Over Knives. That movie, that documentary, changed my perspective completely. It opened my eyes to see what's really happening behind those closed doors and what's really happening in those meat factories and how it's affecting the people around them, around those plants and farms, and how it's affecting us and how it's affecting the animals and what's really happening. It opened my eyes. In that moment, I'm like, I challenge myself, can I thrive as an athlete? Can I grow muscle as a vegan? That's back in the day, that was probably, 3 years ago. I don't think the hype was big as it was then, as it is now, to be a vegan, to be health conscious, and to be aware of how the animal intake or the meat business is having an effect on the earth and us as human beings. So I wanted to break that stigma of vegans being skinny, because there was a vegan athlete in Forks Over Knives that was, looking ripped, looking strong. I'm like, I could be like that guy by a plant-based diet. I could do that. My headstrong, numbskull mentality was, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it, and I'm going to experiment, and I'm going to try this out. I thought it was going to be a piece of cake, but it wasn't. I thought, I'm like, man, I could eat. I don't have to eat meat, and I'll still grow strong, and just not really research. But the key point of being a vegan is researching and see what really works for your body. So it's one big experiment. It's one big journey. So if you're ever just wanting to become a vegan, it's gonna be a hell of a ride. And see what really works for your body, and see what really your body thrives on, to grow stronger, to grow muscle, and to become the stronger you without eating any animal products. That's what I didn't know. That's part of the journey. That's part of the ride. So when I first became vegan, I lost around, I want to say 15 pounds. I was a skinny, before that I had like the puffy muscle of meat eaters. I had I was built, but I wasn't really ripped, and it really looked like I wouldn't say like not healthy, but you could tell that I was a meat eater, and you could tell that I wasn't the fittest that I could be, the healthiest that I could be. So then I lost 15 pounds. I was skinny. I lost muscle mass, and I was, lost fat. So I wasn't like too terribly skinny, but I could tell that I definitely lost muscle mass. And seeing that detox period of, eating meat for all those years, what it does to you if you completely drop meat and dairy out of your diet, how your body reacts and just flushes all that crap out once you're done eating it for a month or so. And that's when the changes come, and that's when you have to research and try new things, try the plethora amount of options we have out there to nourish us, to make us into stronger human beings. It's all out there for us, guys. We just have to experiment and try new foods and see what really works. See what makes us thrive and tick and grow stronger as humans, stronger as a person. Now 3 years in, it's been a hell of a ride, but I'm still learning each and every day, trying new foods and see how it really works for me. I know my base. I come to my base of knowing how I feel off certain foods. That's another great thing about being vegan. You really realize and really notice how different foods react to you, how your body reacts to certain foods. Whether you're eating gluten, whether you eat like a cheat meal, might have too much soy or too much like doo-doo in it, you really feel your body how it reacts to certain foods, whether it's negative or positive. And that's great. We should all really feel how those foods react to us. Not in the sense of when I wasn't a vegan, I think a lot of people feel like they should feel a certain way all the time. They should feel like crap all the time. That's when I used to eat gluten. I thought I was always supposed to feel heavy. You know, after I ate rice, after I ate pasta, that's how I was supposed to feel. After I ate a heavy meal. No, you're not supposed to feel heavy all the time. You're not supposed to feel weighed down. You're supposed to feel light, energetic off the foods that you eat. That's when I discovered sweet potatoes, and it changed my life forever. But that was my journey in becoming a vegan. I could tell you about my great journey afterwards, but this whole video is about how I became the person I am today, how it all started. And there's it was a domino effect of really listening to my body and see what I really needed to thrive and stay healthy as the years went on. And that's what I think all of us should do. If we have some ailments, or we have some issues, we have to really look ourselves in the mirror and say, is it the food that I'm eating? Because probably 80% of the time it is. And how you're feeling groggy and how you're not feeling energetic. Those people drinking, 2 cups of coffee during the day and they're saying they're complaining because they don't have the energy. There has to be a thing. There has to be a moment in time where you have to look at yourself and you say, I have to change. I have to change this. I have to fix things to make myself feel better. Instead of popping, pharmaceuticals and things like that every time you're in pain or you have sore joints or your body's in pain or whatever it might be. There has to be a change where your nutrition takes over. And that is your drug. That is your healing. That is your medical base. Your nutrition. And that's going to take care of your body for sure. Alright guys, well this has been my little rant on how I became, the journey led up to me becoming vegan. It's been a great ride and I don't regret it at all. Because the opportunities I've had and the great changes I've seen in my body and the people that I've been able to influence has been amazing. I can never take that back. You guys are awesome. This has been Jamesrise with another video for you guys. You guys stay awesome. Stay rising. Hopefully you guys enjoy this video. Until next time.